Hey, how's everyone doing today? Sorry it's taken me so long to post this. It's been a busy few weeks. A buddy of mine just got married, so big congratulations to himself and his new wife. I've also been dealing with stemming out some old albums for my publisher, and some of the tracks were over a year and a half old, so it's been a bit of a headache, but that is all taken care of now. Also, the last tutorial I put up, somebody pointed out that I was only coming through the right channel, which is pretty embarrassing considering I've been working in audio for 15 years. But I'll put it down to teething problems and me being overly excited that I finally got a good take and wanted to push it out. But hopefully that's all fixed up for you all today. And thanks very much to the person that pointed that out to me. So today we're going to be looking at doing some chord inversions and some add notes to the chords that we've already created. But first of all, let's just tidy this up a little bit. First of all, I'm going to select all of these chords, go to color, turn off the blue, so we're going to make them yellow. And this is just going to make it a lot easier for us to kind of keep track of what's going on when this gets busier, which it soon will. We'll also change all of these down the bottom, so when we're copying and pasting, they're already the same color. And then I'm going to do all of these select nodes, so I'm going to make them, bluish, turquoise, cyan. There we go. Okay, so we're doing chord inversions. I'm going to spread these so that they're layered on top of each other. This will make more sense later on. It'll just make it easier for copying, pasting things into our project. Excellent. Alright, and we'll copy this one over to here. Okay, so chord inversions. Essentially, at the moment, C is our bass note, E is our third, and G is our fifth. But to do a chord inversion, we want C to be the top note. So how we go about that is we're going to add 12 to the current number. So it's now at 72. And this will be our first inversion. And then if we copy this over again, this time, instead of being with C, we actually want the E to go on top as well, so that G is now our lowest note. So the E we're going to add 12 to, which takes us to 76. Excellent. That'll be our second inversion. Oops. Excellent. So grab these, bring them over, grab these, bring them back over. And we now have our inversions for the one chord. Cool, and we're going to go through the same process for each of them. So this one we're going to add 12. Grab this again. Add 12. And repeat the process. 76. 79. There's just been a new update as well, which allows you to now input from your MIDI devices, which is super cool. We're going to make things like this much easier because you don't have to do it manually, but well, you have to put it in by hand with the keyboard, but you don't have to be thinking about the numbers. But I'm going to keep doing it like this for now, just so that it's a bit more visually easy to keep up with. I feel like I should have some music in the background. Whoops. Oh. Math hard. Make sure I'm in. Okay. And the last one. Nearly there. Cool. And next fun part is labeling them. Oof. Yeah, I do find the labeling a little bit fiddly. But there we go. Anyway, you get the general gist. I'm going to leave it like this now, and I'll tidy it up later when I'm not recording, because that's going to take too much time up. So essentially, I'm going to select all three of these, hold down Control and 1 until we get that beautiful beep sound, and now it's in a control group. So what this means is I can be anywhere, press 1, and it will come back to all three of these. I'm going to do this for everything. So Control 2, that's control group 2, Control 3, Control 4, Control 5, 6, and 7. Sorry, I'm not sure what the Mac equivalent would be. I don't work with Macs. So what we've got here, remember where it's coming from, where it's going to. Okay. Yeah, and you're going up to there. Perfect. So we can get rid of that. We can now press 1. I'm going to press Control C, Control V. Excellent. And if we go to our pathing tool, connect this up to all three of them. And then all three of these to the next one. All right, excellent. So you'll notice that I didn't do a weighted probability for this one. I've just done the portal. You can do a weighted probability to it, but I don't want to use up the space for it. I'm quite happy for it to just... I believe the portal does like a round robin. So it will just sort of go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I don't want to use up the extra space using a... probability. And because there's so many different choices that are going to come up, there'll be plenty of variation anyway. So if I press play now, each time it goes through, it will go to either the first, second, or third inversions. Yeah, sure. So you can see it's doing a round robin. It's doing this one first, this one second, this one third, which is fine. And I'm going to do the same for the 4 chord over here. So I push 4, copy, and paste. Make sure that's all right. Yep, that's the 4th chord. So we get rid of those. Bring this in. And this is where things start to get a bit more spaghetti-ish, because we're suddenly going to have lots and lots of nodes and pathways everywhere. Bring these up to here. Awesome. I'm not going to keep doing that for the moment because we're actually going to add some more things, and it's easier to have that down first, and then we don't have to keep kind of deleting and connecting things back up together. So the next thing we look at is some add chords. So how am I going to go about this? We're going to have one. It's going to be our weighted probability. We're going to have add 7, add 9, add 11, and let's just have a nothing, so nothing gets added for that. So we go back to our selection tool. This one's going to be muted, and it's going to be our weighted. This is all for the one chord. This is going to be nothing. So if I don't want an added chord, we're going to mute that. And that should be good. And connect these up. So you can see this is 1, 2 away, 1, 2 away, 1, 2 away. And this X where I've put it here is 1, 2. So it's also 2 away. Just so that everything stays in time. Oh, another thing, I just want to label these up. So this is going to be, let's do it from the bottom. Add 7. Add 9. And add 11. You can go as crazy as you want. You can do add 12s, 13s, whatever you want. You can do suspense chords if you want, and things like that with it. And this is all set up now, so let's make this red. That'll do. Nice. And to make sure that this is perfectly in time, we're going to add one more node, which is going to sit here. So you can see that this is 2 away from the chord playing, just like this. And this one here is going to be our portal. And make sure that's muted as well. And it's going to come directly from our split. Cool. And probably make that red as well. Excellent. So when this is all done, we're going to be connecting this up to our node, and we can do this with all of our inversions. So copy. Anyway, we'll do that later. So getting on to how do we come up with our add notes? Okay, I'm not going to be looking too much at theory during this, but this is just something I pulled up from Google. I just typed in notes to MIDI. So at the moment we're looking at our C chord, right, which is C, E, and G, which is 1, 3, 5. So we keep going 1, 2, 3, 4. I should probably number them 1, 3, 5, and then we've got 6 and 7. So we're going to want our B as our 7, 8, 9, our D as our 9, and our F as our 11. So, we've got 71, 74, and 77. So go back into Midinous, and I've already forgotten those. 147, okay. So 71, 74, and 77. Cool. So if we now copy and paste this over, path them up, we can take all 3 of these and connect them back to here. So what I'm going to do is, in future, when we get rid of that, re-put this into our control group, copy, paste, path, path, path. So this is why it's good to have all of your functions set up before you start doing the main body of things. Otherwise you're going to be coming back and forwards and deleting everything. I'm going to have a special area, probably either to the left or above the piece, where I'll have this, because now every time a 1 chord comes up throughout the whole piece, I can simply path it here. No. Let's go around the long way. There we go. Excellent. So again, if let's say I wanted to have the one chord come up again, whoops, up here for instance, I can also connect this back to these add notes, and that will work just fine. So now when we play it, every time a one chord is played, well, it will select one of these along with it. So. So something that's wrong with this at the moment is the duration is slightly off. What are these set to? 4. Make sure you get that right. Beautiful. All right. So obviously we can go through and do this to all of our notes. Very quickly, I think we should probably try and make this sound a little bit better. So I'm going to actually slow the tempo down to 30, just to kind of make it a bit more ambient. I'm going to open up Ableton, wherever that is. I'm going to use Serum, because I've got an old preset in here of some pads, just something a bit more gentle. I'm going to change this to Midinous port 1. I'm going to turn this off for a second and set this to 30, and hopefully with some luck it will sound a bit better. Whoops. And obviously, as you flesh this out more and more, there'll be more variations and things going on, so it will sound kind of constantly evolving a lot more. I guess I can just do a couple of little different bits and pieces in here. So, on this patch, I've got something called Wind, which essentially is just a filter, and Ocean, which is some noise. So set that up to, say, an LFO. Let's put some a little bit of reverb on here. Dragonfly is a free reverb. It's really nice. A bit bassy, so I'm going to make it so the bass doesn't cut through quite so much. I'm going to compress it like an idiot. I want to compress the delay actually, so that that keeps ringing out for a bit longer. There we go. And also, let's MIDI effects. There we go. Pitch. Let's move it up by 12. Come on. No, not 122. There we go. Alright, so before the next one, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do all of these adds for each of the notes, set that up, and we'll take a look at some basses and some melodies. So I hope that was useful for you all, and see you next time. Cheers.